Welcome in. What's Driving the Right, episode 397. This episode of What's Driving the Right is presented to you by Boost Mobile. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Hopefully you're listening to this before Thanksgiving because it is our Week 13 gambling show. If you're listening to it on or after Thanksgiving, it will still apply, so don't turn it off. But we are going to hit on the Thanksgiving games, which maybe you guys already know how they went. If you do, hopefully the Chiefs won. Reminder, everybody, like, rate, subscribe, review, and of course, all lines are from our friends at Hard Rock Bet. Last week, we said after our slow start to the year, we need to be above 500 by Thanksgiving. It is at Thanksgiving. We are 30, 29, and 1. Thanks to a 3-1-1 week last week. That was, in my opinion, our best week of the season. Not just record-wise, but where we were on the games. We stayed away from the Chiefs minus 3.5 because we didn't like the hook. The hook would have killed us. Chicago minus 2.5 against Pittsburgh. They win by 3. The Jets plus 13.5 at Baltimore. They win by they lose by 13, but that game was Jets were in it in the second half. Losing that one would have been disastrous. Seattle minus 13.5 at Tennessee was a shameful loss in that Seattle was dominating this game. Tennessee has a 20-minute drive at the end of the game to cut it to 6. I still like our side in that game. Arizona plus 3 at Jacksonville. We said on the show how important it was to get the full 3 and not just the 2.5. Now, I wanted Arizona to win outright. If you were listening to yesterday's show, you know why. I had a big bet tied up in that, but didn't happen. Arizona loses by 3 in overtime. And Cleveland plus 3.5 at Vegas, which was our favorite bet of the week. We just didn't think Vegas was going to be able to handle Cleveland's pass rush. We were absolutely right, to the tune of 10 sacks. Before we get to this week's slate, today's show is brought to you by our presenting sponsor, Hard Rock Bet. 3 things to be extra thankful this week: family, food, and football. Thanks to Hard Rock Bet, you can easily sneak in some bets while your crazy uncle goes on his annual rant about what it was like when he was a kid. Sign up today. You could feast with $150 in bonus bets. Just place a $5 bet. If it hits, you get not only your winnings, but also $150 in extra bonus bets. That's an offer you can't pass up, even when you're in a turkey coma. Not sure what to place your first bet on? Head over to the Hard Rock Bet Stats Hub, and it'll help you out. It's loaded with trends, streaks, and stats to help guide your picks. Numbers don't lie, and neither does the data in there. Plus, this week on Hard Rock Bet, you get 3 50% boosts. 1 for each Thanksgiving Day game. You know I'll be locked in on Kansas City, so boost your same game parlay or SGP max so your bets pay extra winnings. New promos every day, so if you're listening to this later, just open the app and check out what they've got any day of the week. Download the Hard Rock Bet app and make your first deposit. All right, no buys because it's Thanksgiving. Final buys are next weekend. Here are the games we are not betting, but I had a feel on, or I didn't, I'll tell you. Green Bay getting 2.5 at Detroit. I do really like Detroit. I am staying away only because I'm a little worried about Goff's ability to stay upright against that Green Bay pass rush. But if I were playing this, I would be playing Detroit minus 2.5. Pardon me. I almost assuredly Thanksgiving morning will bet Detroit minus 2.5, but it's not one of the 5 picks. The fact that it's not one of the 5 picks means I feel pretty strongly about the 5 games we are rolling with, because I also really liked Cincinnati getting 7 at Baltimore. I'm staying away purely because Joe Burrow, first game in months, I don't know how he's going to look, and that Baltimore defense last month has been frisky, but getting 7 with Cincinnati, a team that, if Burrow looks good, could win. When Lamar has gone from a hamstring to a knee to an ankle and now a toe injury, his lower body ailments are just moving south. On his leg. That's concerning. He hasn't looked great in the last couple weeks. So I definitely would not be laying the 7 with Baltimore. But without seeing Burrow play, It's hard for me to include them in the picks, even though I thought about it. New Orleans at Miami. Miami is laying 6 points. What a slap in the face to New Orleans that the Miami Dolphins are a 6-point favorite against you. But I have no interest in that game. We're staying away from it. Excuse me. Houston at Indy. Houston getting 4.5. I like Houston in this spot. Extra rest with how well the defense is playing. But first game back for Stroud in like a month. Indy, I think Indy could be teetering. And that Houston defense is unreal. But having not seen Stroud, I'm going to stay away. But I do like Houston plus 4.5. Jacksonville laying 6.5 at the Titans. Are the Titans going to get another win? That is so. Are the Titans really going to go 1-16? Because if they're going to get another win, it's either this week or home against the Saints in week 17. So that made me kind of lean Tennessee, but it also might be they're not getting another win. We'll stay away. The Rams laying 10.5 at Carolina. I lean Rams there, but this feels like a potential backdoor cover by the Panthers, and a Rams just get out of there with a win, so we're staying away. Atlanta laying 2.5 at the Jets. I don't think Kirk Cousins at this point in his career should be laying points on the road, so I do lean Jets, but I also don't think an Aaron Glenn coach team that I can bet them in good conscience getting less than a field goal. So I'm going to stay away there. Buffalo laying 4 at Pittsburgh. I stared at Pittsburgh for quite some time. But the uncertainty about who's playing quarterback plus Buffalo on extra rest and Buffalo needing the game was enough for me to stay away. But if I was playing a side, it would be Pittsburgh getting 4. Vegas getting 9.5 at the Chargers. Chargers off a bye. Vegas is in shambles. Chargers would be the play, but the Chargers offensive line is in such a spot that laying nearly double digits with them in a divisional game seems reckless. Denver laying 6.5 at Washington. I like Denver here. That defense against Marcus Mariota, particularly Denver off a bye. Washington's also off a bye, but I like Denver in that spot, but I'm not betting it. I'll be totally honest. One of the reasons is because I'll be rooting for Washington, so I don't want to have my bet conflict with my root. And then the Giants getting 7.5 at New England. The play there would be New England, but I got to see how they look given the offensive line injury, so we are staying away. So that leaves us with 5 games. Reminder, all lines are from Hard Rock Bet, and the first one, Hard Rock Bet's helping me out because most shops have Kansas City laying 3.5. Hard Rock has Kansas City laying 3. I will jump on Kansas City -3 at Dallas. Over the last 20 years, Thanksgiving favorites are 51-9 straight up and 40-20 against the spread. Now, the Chiefs just played an overtime game and they're on the road on a Thursday. That's typically a disaster. The counterpoint to that is the Chiefs' overtime game ended earlier than the Cowboys game because the Cowboys were in the late window, and the Chiefs' overtime game was weird because the Colts barely had the ball. So I am not as concerned about that trend as I maybe normally would be, but also it's this. I think the Chiefs, whatever issues they have offensively, I think the Chiefs against bad secondaries still move the ball at will. I think Dallas has a bad secondary. I'll take KC -3. Chicago getting 7 at Philadelphia. I just do not believe the Eagles deserve to be more than 6-point favorites against good teams right now because the offense is so herky-jerky. Also, the Lane Johnson's absence has been a death knell for this team over the last few years. And Ben Johnson, after that, the tush push is not an explosive play jab at Philadelphia that is probably a bigger deal on First Things First than other shows, knows he better have something ready for Philly. I think Chicago could win the game. I like getting the 7 points. I'll take Chicago plus 7. Tampa -3 against Arizona. Typically, given the Baker injury, I'd stay away here. But Arizona, and now am I mad at them for costing me my bet this past week? Sure. But Trevor gave them the ball 4 times, including a pick 6, and they still couldn't win. Those were not like great defensive plays by Arizona. Those were Trevor making awful plays. I expect Baker to play. Marvin Harrison Jr., we still don't know what's going on with him post-appendix removal. Bucky Irving finally returns. Tampa pounds the run. Tampa -3. I think for the second straight week, my favorite bet of the week is Cleveland. Cleveland getting 6 in the snow against the Niners. That defense against Brock Purdy, fresh off those interceptions, in the snow. I think this is a low-scoring, low-possession, run-the-ball game. And Cleveland's defense is so great that at home in inclement weather, maybe our first snow game of the year, I'll take the 6 points and I'll take them happily. And then last but not least, I don't know if Cleveland's my favorite pick or this one is. I'll lay the points even though it bit me this past weekend again with Seattle. Seattle laying 10.5 against Minnesota. The Vikings are on their third string quarterback. McCarthy, Wentz, and now, Gosmer? What's his name? Sam Gosmer? Whatever it is, I don't like his chances against Mike McDonald's Seattle defense. And so, can Seattle get to 21? That should be enough to cover against the Vikings' third string quarterback. I'll take Seattle at home laying the 10.5. So our 5 picks are as follows. The Chiefs laying 3, thanks to Hard Rock Bet for not making us lay 3.5 at Dallas. Chicago getting 7 at Philadelphia. Tampa Bay laying 3 at home against the hated Cardinals. Cleveland getting 6 at home against Brock Purdy and the Niners in the snow. And Seattle laying 10.5 at home against Minnesota. We will get to Damonza's teaser and the offer and Touchdown Genie in a moment, but first, are you thinking about upgrading to the all-new iPhone 17 Pro, designed to be the most powerful iPhone ever, but you're also thinking about all the traffic on your way to the store or transferring all your data? Good news! When you order a new iPhone online with Boost Mobile, they'll send an expert to your home or work to deliver your brand new iPhone 17 Pro and get you all set up on Boost Mobile within minutes. No hassle. Visit boostmobile.com to get started. Delivery available for select devices purchased at boostmobile.com. Terms do apply. All right. Damonza's teaser. 2 in a row now. Last week, he had KC getting 4.5. Not an easy win, but a win. Cleveland getting 11.5, an easy win. And Jacksonville getting 5.5, sadly an easy win. I gave that a B-. Let's check in with Damonza again with the Week 13 teaser.
All right, y'all, back at it again with another 3-team 8-point teaser. For every week that my child is alive, I win a teaser. Let's see if we can continue that streak. This might be one of the last ones I have to do for you guys because I'll be back in person soon. But first off, 3-team 8-pointer. You know the deal. Kansas City at Dallas. We're going to tease Dallas from +3 to +11. And then next we have Arizona at Tampa Bay. Going to be teasing Tampa Bay from -3 to +5. And then lastly, we have Chicago at Philly. And Chicago from +7 to +15. Let's continue the streak, and I'll see you guys soon. Thank you.
Great job, Damonza. Can't wait to see you tomorrow. Teasing through the 0 with Tampa, I don't love. I do love the Chicago leg. And I don't love the Chiefs leg, the Dallas leg, because, again, I do think the Chiefs wins, aside from the Indy win, have all been double digits. So if you think the Chiefs are going to win, I don't know if 11 would be enough. I'm going to give this a B-. Part of that's for good luck because I gave him a B- last week. He won. I gave him an F the week before. He won. Touchdown Genie this week. We're going to stick with the Chiefs-Cowboys game. And I could go easy and go Travis Kelce because Kelce is going to score on Thanksgiving. But that's only plus 115. So I'm going to go big game hunting on Touchdown Genie. Patrick Mahomes. They've had some red zone struggles. The Cowboys have been susceptible to the quarterback run game. Patrick Mahomes, anytime touchdown at 4-1. The offer last week was Shedeur over 160.5 and over 1 passing touchdown. That would have cashed. I faded the producers and said switch to the Shedeur under, which, by the way, that little swing pass, if it's 6 inches more laterally, that's a run, not a pass, and then it cashes. This week, the producers are offering me Kareem Hunt over 33.5 rushing yards and Rashee Rice 72.5 receiving yards at plus 225. Here is the problem. Isaiah Pacheco's back, so I do not think Kareem Hunt's going to have a big game. Kareem Hunt after 30-plus carries 3 days ago, so I will again go against the producers. I will take that offer, but it's going to be under 33.5 rushing yards for Kareem Hunt, over 72.5 receiving yards for Rashee Rice. That'll still be plus 225. I'm going to take that one. Thank you to everyone. Reminded everybody, like, rate, subscribe, and review to the show. Huge thank you to Blue Duck, to Volume, to Hard Rock Bet, to Boost, and of course to Zen. Have a great Thanksgiving. Talk to you guys soon. What's right?